Greetings, seekers of the Grav Core. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey, the Voidborn. Episode 31, Pulling Long Shifts Down in the Bunker. One of the reasons to keep the hallway here with not a ton of shelves is to try to prevent the buildup of a mass amount of goods, because I don't actually want our ship full of supplies like that. I want to avoid. Oh, of course it bites my visitors. Sorry, visitors. It's not my fault. So I did hear the calls to... Maybe I'll put the shield gens... Did they still fully cover? I'll put them here. I will heed the call to, build weapon benches. I'll build a few. So it's a little bit easier to find what I'm looking for. So let's build 2 shelves. One here and one here for weapons. And I'm gonna... I guess I'll pick and choose what weapons will go on there. So... weapons that are not bio-coded. For melee, only, let's say, Zeus and Mono. Plasma. Eltex. And for ranged, no auto pistol, bolt, bow. Sorry, LMGs. No LMGs. Machine pistol, pila, pump, recurve, revolver, short bow. Yeah. I think that's a good subset list. Actually, the problem with putting them on here is this is vulnerable from corners. So maybe I'll move it, so I don't run into that problem. The corner vulnerability is still so annoying, even if it's partially fixed. There we go. Some weapon benches. I can even put another. And that way they're slightly more organized. Ship's definitely way better now than it was before. Now, as far as chem fuel goes, we have a long way to go. So once Lisk is done, I know he just got work-driven. So now that he's work-driven, I'm going to queue up a whole bunch of trees for him to cut, because he should be able to cut those real fast. And then we'll pivot and have him get like uranium. Yeah, you're right. Let's add horns. The rest of the horns I want in the general stockpile, so I sell them, but the alpha horn we'll have singled out. And then the orbital beacon will be stored right there, which is where it will be installed when trade opportunities arise. So the next thing I want to do is to get the small thrusters reinstalled. I had the idea of setting up the small thrusters like here, as odd as this is. So we have like side thrust. And if we set it up like this, they're still accessible from the inside of the ship, allowing us to enshroud our engines like that. Might look a little stupid, but it will work, and that's good enough for me. So let's go ahead and do that. And that way we can have the shortest possible cooldown period. And cheers, by the way. I don't have a lot of dyes, but I'll probably end up setting this up as uranium anyway, because the whole outer shell of the rest of the ship is uranium, so it doesn't make sense to all of a sudden not use uranium. And that should be well within the tile limit. That's not an issue at all. And the other reason to have it embedded in the walls is so that we can repair the engines from within the ship's interior. Oops. No, we're fine. So to really see this... Oh, hello. To really get this... So there is one issue, which is this rat has free reign to walk all the way into our freezer. You've got 2 days of work drive. Some of that work drive I want spent uranium mining. Hey, look at that! That's nice. So the next hop is almost certainly going to be the ancient stockpile. It does have increased animal life, which is decent for... But it's desert. So even though it has increased animal life, desert still kind of sucks. Rat made it to the freezer? Yeah, as a corpse. And as you can see, this is a... I like how it's a rec room, but it's an enclosed area. Nice. All right, Lisk. We've got 1,000 wood, so let's pivot and grab our uranium. So I want you mining over smithing. Factory machinery is fine, but the next one will be the uranium up that way. Oh, there is the risk that he sees this stuff, as that might be part of the path. So in order to avoid that, let's bury those guys. Because those are real nasty corpses. Why haven't we machined the... I guess no one else is smithing. Gideon. Go break down those mech corpses. I'm trying to move the aux pump and the light out of the way so that it, I don't click on it trying to interact with the benches, because that gets really annoying. How do you like the ship change? Large structure. That is a real large structure, forget it. I don't, even if I wanted to do that, I don't think we physically have the manpower to fulfill a request like that within a reasonable amount of time. Now that the back of the ship is going, this is going to be internal tiles, I'll put doors here to give us access to this space in case orbital trade stuff gets in there. Actually, it'd be better if the doors were here. That way, because this room is, we know, doesn't have vacuum protection. And sorry, Gideon, for making you stand there. You're good. I won't have enough dyes for all of this, but the good news is we do have a shuttle, and it is getting fueled. So once we're close to a trade partner, we can just like buy dyes to dye the finished external of our area here. But I think you can understand the purpose of no, don't do that. The purpose of having access to these areas, because if our trade beacon's here, more than likely the stuff we buy goes there. Are we out of steel? No, we're not out of steel. We could put colored lights back there to pimp it out. We could. So at this point, we're just waiting on the rest of the uranium, and Lisk is doing a really good job of sourcing it. There was silver down this way. I don't know if we're going to go to the effort of mining that out. It's pretty far away from the ship, and that's going to piss Lisk off. He's already kind of pissed as it is. Because he doesn't actually have mining passions. It's not possible to be a Starjack with mining passions unless you have genetic implants. So let's give him some lavish meals. Also seems to me I might need to consider offering him better food so he's not constantly upset. But there we go. How many dyes do I have left? 11? So let's try to... Let's dye 5, 10. As far as we can get. But now, the benefit is our engines are all maintainable from within the sphere of influence of our ship. We don't have like reloading portholes for the turrets, but I don't think that's something we really need to do with this ship design. The next stage, I would say, is to significantly gun up the externals of the ship. And the reason for that is because if we're going to be fighting the mech hive with 4 people, we're going to rely on turrets pretty heavily. Which means acquiring plasteel in mass and acquiring uranium in mass, so we have a lot of autocannon turrets and slug turrets. So after we get Locust armor, that's going to be the big push. Oh, can you frickin' stop? Everyone is fighting everyone. God, everyone hates Rylus. Everyone hates... Oh, killed my spouse. Okay, that's a decent reason. I didn't realize that was something I had done. To be fair. I can see that it's a little skull-like. Gotta rotate my head a bit for that, but yeah. I see it. Ooh, a free bulk goods trader. Where can we put the pin? You know what'd be funny? Is like putting the pins like here so we play outside. I mean, this specific area blocks... I could put it here. So, you know... Oh, no. That's... Okay, that would block too. But yeah, that's a weird thought. Put horseshoe pins somewhere where, like, you physically have to... You can play like that. So if I am planning on using uranium turrets and autocannon turrets, we are going to need to amass a hell of a lot of materials to keep them armed and ready for the mech hive clear. And Icy's just into second trimester. Got it. So wolfskin can be our default leather for a bit because of all those wargs. They did have dyes, so that solves that problem. And we'll start working on replacement clothing, because I'm sure our clothing is like in horrible condition. What do we want to buy from you then? I don't know. Maybe we just sell less stuff. Well, I could buy wood. Although we're in a forest, that's kind of dumb. There, that's close enough. And they told me about the stash of valuables. Super immune isn't enough. That little baby needs more than that. So bye-bye, guys. Alright, how's our chem fuel? Full, and just past a third. So we need more wood to top up. We got all that uranium. We just need to haul the rest. So we're sitting at a pretty sizable amount of uranium. So once we do more tree cutting, we'll top up our chem fuel for both the tanks and the shuttle. And then we can hop to the desert and get another grav core. And I don't really see... We still have 175 tiles left to play with. So I don't think, unless our population balloons out, we're going to need much in the way of extenders. So any additional power cells, or grav cores, can be for signal jammer or for power cells. Are ancient dangers less common now? Yes, they are. They're less common because, by default, in your storyteller settings, if we take a look at, like, losing is fun, you get, where is it? It is nomadic mineable resources, and I think that also controls ancient danger generation as well. So you can set the... I remember reading in the patch notes that ancient dangers are reduced unless... I think it's based upon nomadic mineable resources, oddly. Unless there's another slider for it. Because Odyssey has you jump so frequently, it changes the rate at which you get ADs. So yeah, that is indeed a thing. Well, with more dyes means we can dye this up and then dye some jade that we're putting in to have the ship not look like it has leprosy. Did I miss a hydrate? Sorry about that. Did I run out of dyes? No, we still have more. Just stop doing art. Yeah, this has been a really nice pit stop. Really productive pit stop. I would have liked to get a little bit more steel. But I think I'm going to prioritize chem fuel over steel. Hey, man, don't eat my stuff. Boy, is this ship so dirty. And before I jinxed it, well, even if I had to leave right now, it'd be fine unless they, like, pod drop raid through my roof. Because there isn't, like, a lot of threats at the moment. Awesome. The shuttle's nearly full. I might need to get rid of this vac barrier and, like, leave it as a door that can be forbidden. Argument being, climbing over the shuttle kind of sucks to have to do repeatedly. Oh, nice. I literally have one die left. Well, that worked out. Rearm turrets? They're okay. They automatically rearm when they're below half. Gideon, I want you to haul on the meat. Or I guess leather. So it almost looks like it's time to make a trade run. We're getting a lot of leather from all the hunting that we've been doing. There's still some game left that doesn't fight back, so I'll finish that task. The other thing we could do is put the butcher table in here, or the stone cutter in there, and remove the I could even, like, put it there. I mean, that will generate a lot of blood, but it, one of the reasons to do it like this is it will, there's really nothing but turrets attackable on the outside. Oh god, it's time to leave. Forget that. Everyone hauling everything. I don't want to be around here for the droner. So, touche. It's been nice, but it's time to go. So, hoovering up the last of the wood, and we'll be on our way. So I'll get rid of those at the desert. Oh god, are we even gonna manage? Come on, come on, come on. One more handful. Alright, let's go. Lisk inside ship. Icy inside ship. And launch. So the ancient stockpile grav core is a little annoying because there's a lot of dead bodies down there. So I might want to go down there with Icy having like frag grenades or something so that I can just like blow the dead bodies up as I progress through the stockpiles. There's one in the extreme south, which is annoying. One north. And one west. Okay. I know I'm probably going to want steel, and there's lots of steel and silver there. What about the other ores? Only silver? Alright, so let's go ahead and park. Oh, this is cute. Although the door access sucks. Let's park like this. Close to there, but very far away from the south. It's not ideal, but it works. Unfortunately, I didn't realize this is a mixed biome, so this still has parts of the boreal forest. So there's lots of trees to cut down to replenish our chem fuel. So that's not much of a problem either. So queuing up the ancient stockpiles to be hacked. We'll queue up the steel and silver to be mined. And then I'll move the floodlight here, which should keep the mining zones illuminated. I'm going to remove the foundations. And for now, I'm not going to invest I'm not going to invest in building larger turrets outside. I don't even really have the research to do it yet anyway. But that is something I'm thinking about as we acquire more plasteel and uranium. Guppies. All right. Wildlife. This tile has increased wildlife. No, it doesn't. I did see you guys point that out to me when we landed, and I ignored you because I figured it would still suck. And it does. Is there ancient dangers? No. But there is trees, and we'll take advantage of that. Oh, this whole thing became a kitchen? That's actually problematic. I could put the butcher table in here. Like, put it here. In the back. It would just cause a lot of blood. Or I'll turn... I don't like that either. The reason why I don't want to separate out with a vac barrier is that that's a whole different can of worms. I'll just uninstall it for now and deal with it later. Does increased wildlife increase the amount of fish in the water? That's a good question. I'm not sure. That's a question for someone like Cathodon that can check the code easy. But the surface wildlife, definitely was, did not benefit much. So we're still nowhere near, like a place to trade, which is unfortunate because we have a lot of stuff, but there's nowhere to bring it to. I could use internal doors to split the zones. The thing is, I don't really want my... one of the benefits of not doing that is it makes my recreation and dining area much more impressive if I don't. And that matters more to me than really anything else. So I'd rather just deal with butchering somehow else. So some ideas is like shrinking putting like a butcher table like this and shrinking the hospital a little bit, something like that. I'm not gonna really seek an alternative right now. I don't need one. Man, they are really failing at this hack. Well, this one's open. Mr. Gideon. And Miss Icy. Ooh, she's pregnant. Maybe I shouldn't... And she's also apparently uncovered. Let's fix the uncovered problem. I've been meaning to do that for a while now and didn't get around to it. So I'm gonna, remove the hand tiller bench because it's slow. And replace it with an electric one. Because Lisk's time, given how many tasks he has, is worth more than the level up efficiency. Alright, come blow up on me. Oh nice, I didn't even take damage. Okay, dead body we'll have to destroy or move or something. And yet another one. Time for you to leave. That calls for an icy. So I've got grenades for Icy. And she's pregnant, but there's no threat present in that ancient stockpile, so I'll just have her, like, blow up the corpses and we can move through it. Oh well. I'll have her just keep the frag grenades for that reason. So let's say we've cut out enough trees. There was only one more tree designation. So that's 1,300 wood to chem fuel. That's plenty. My tanks are just about all topped up anyway. Rylus is trying to scan for plasteel. And now that we have a shuttle, plasteel is a lot easier to contend with. Gideon, let's have you go back into the stockpile. Is a seeing corpse that bad? Yeah, honestly, yeah. If you're already on the brink of mental break and you see these are not just corpses, they are rotted corpses. They're real bad. That's violent mental break territory. I wonder if it says it here. Yep. Rotted corpse -6, that stacks 3 times. Regular corpse -4, that stacks 3 times. You can have -30 mood from seeing 3 rotted corpses and 3 normal corpses. So if you want to know how bad it is, it can get real freaking bad. -30 is like a dead wife level of mood. Why I'm excessively careful. And the counter to that, of course, is that Icy's bloodlust and doesn't care about either. Psychopaths and cannibals don't care about regular corpses, but they still care about rotted ones. And bloodlusts don't care about either. So I love the trait bloodlust because I use it constantly to negate the negative mood modifiers for corpses. As I'm sure you've noticed. Does dead wife also stack? It does, but usually you don't have a lot of dead wives. You don't collect them. Well. Oh, God. Okay. Do not pass go. You have to get pretty close to the corpses to suffer their penalty, so I kind of like tiptoed around them, but now this is icy territory. I guess what it could be doing is checking if they have anything in their pockets worth looting. It'd be really funny if I was throwing grenades on them and then, like, they had, like, a doomsday launcher that blew up or something. That'd be horrible. Another ally to help. Rylus. Go rescue Samtao. And Gideon, you're up again. Yeah, the reason I really like Bloodlust is, generally speaking, the time that your colonists are the most upset are right after a big raid. Because they're tired, they're usually injured, they've seen corpses, You know, they haven't eaten in a while, they haven't recreated in a while, and bloodlusters are generally happiest right after a raid. So having someone bloodlust is usually really good to be able to recover from raids, because they not only are really useful in cleaning up corpses, but they are not negatively affected by raids like everyone else is. Oh, Lisk, if you are also partially naked, I think it's time to tailor. So now that the tailoring bench is up, here we go. Button-down shirts. I'm going to prioritize the shirts. For now, I'm going to do wolf skin. And pants. Wolf skin. Apparently been running around naked for a while. My bad. And this is probably the last room. Yep. Just a corpse, so we exit. The downside to Bloodlust, if you're wondering, is they're more likely to social fight with others. Interestingly, she's on the best terms with everyone. So while that is true, Icy is on really good terms with everyone else, so yeah, it hasn't really been a problem for her. So this is almost done, locked out 8 hours. This is not almost done, locked out 5. More time required. We've taken a look at the moods. We've got fresh shirt and pants. Lisk needs pants. Icy will need pants soon, and Gideon needs pants. We are about 100 chem fuel. Actually, we've been not loading the chem fuel up. I think we have everything fully fueled now. Yep. So all the chem fuel past this point is just icing on the cake. Oh, sandstorm. Gross. So the issue of us not having clothing is quickly getting addressed and fixed. And we can officially enter this one, so I'm going to have Gideon head down there and start poking about. While Rylus treats himself to something nice. Oh, immediate corpse. Great. Don't look at it. Stay away from it. I can't get to that door because of that. But Icy needs to eat first. There we go. Now she'll go clean that up. Yeah, if you're wondering about the roof zone, everything that needs to be roofed is roofed. We're good. That's convenient. I'll have her hang out down here, because there is likely more corpses for him to deal with. Yep, case in point. Right at the next door. Oops. Ooh, an Insanity Lance. They're pulling a little bit of an all-nighter, but they'll be alright. Oh my god, the corpses. So yeah, I know you asked if it was necessary, but like, yeah, there is corpses everywhere down here. This would be so terrible on the mood if we didn't just clear it like this. Might be time for them to get to sleep, though. Plus, their pockets are basically full of meals now. Ah! Looks like you have a... No, it's wooden. Sometimes slice caps are made of plasteel. Whoa, you almost blew yourself up there, girl. Since we're like nearly done, there's like 2 rooms left. I'll just push them. So let's eat meals and burn midnight oil. Just stand there. Let the, Wait, no! Come on! Come on, Hunter Drone! Don't just frickin'... What the hell? Okay, yes. Blow up, please. Thank you. Why I was pissed was I was planning on having the wasps get blown up by the hunter trap, but then the hunter trap was just like, no, I'm just gonna wait. Have it stab you extra times. Which is super rude. Alright, Gideon. Let's go hack there. And we got Glitter World meds. So I'm gonna have to come back here for the Incendiary Lance and the Glitter World meds that I don't have capacity for. And the only one that can pick up the Glitter World meds without a mood problem is Icy. I'll do some basic triage. I know I'm gonna have to come back here, so... That's funny, I can like hack until I'm finally bandaged. That seems weird. Okay, so there's nothing else down here, cool. So, we'll have Icy come back and scoop up the last of the loot tomorrow. Or after they sleep. Because they're both exhausted. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey, The Voidborn, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Starjacks.